All right.
Hello.
Welcome. Welcome to Greenlight and Banter, episode 20.
No. Is it?
Yeah.
No, there's no way.
Yeah, 20. We're going to get kudos from Spotify for hitting 20.
Really?
Yeah, they'll send me something.
What do you mean they'll send you? They won't send me a thing. They don't like
No.
me.
Well, I don't think it's that, but today is February 1,
The year of our Lord?
2024.
Yeah. The
And
first episode of the year. No, we just we just went over that, didn't we?
I think it's our third.
No, there's no way.
Well, it's definitely not the first. And tomorrow is Groundhog Day, by the way.
An outstanding movie. But
Even better than the holiday.
you know, little side story. I'm already going off on a tangent here, but Groundhog Day came out around the time you would think it'd come out on February 2nd.
Like around Groundhog Day?
Yeah, but I believe it came out around March because when I turned 16, I drove my friends up to Hall's Cinema and we saw Groundhog Day. But I ended up making everybody leave early because I would have rather been out driving because I just turned 16 and that was killing me sitting in a theater.
You're like, why are we sitting here?
So I played it up like it was the worst movie ever. Why are we sitting here for this garbage?
Yeah, you'll be able to watch this a million times.
Yeah. Oh, we went out
Over and over.
raising heck, I tell you, heck.
16.
Yeah.
So what year was that?
God knows. I can't.
I mean, you should know.
I don't have to do math. I don't have to prove to you I can add and subtract.
Well, mine's pretty easy because I was nearly born on the decade, like almost born on 1970. So all I have to do is some simple math to figure out what the year is.
All I have to do is log or sign in, or not sign in, but open up IMDb and see when they made Groundhog Day or when it came out.
Wouldn't it be easier just to know what year you were born and do some math?
No, it's not easier. Anyways, I'm sorry to pull us off.
I thought you were going to say that you have an IMBD presence.
I don't, but do you?
I may, maybe. You know that's something we haven't talked about. Is my
Your cinema
career.
Yeah.
Modeling and acting career.
Yeah. Well,
I made absolutely tens of dollars, maybe hundreds.
I was on the news when I was in third grade. It was a snow day, and they came by and interviewed us kids. That was an embarrassment to the family.
I almost spewed water everywhere for some reason.
Fantastic.
For some reason,
Well, you know,
I don't know how I controlled myself.
local celebrity.
Okay, so that's a funny thing. So I remember news, like interviews. So I remember we were at Chilhowie Park, and it was 4th of July. They were doing fireworks over there at that time. And somebody from the news interviewed kids like they do, you know, like asking questions about Independence Day
Right.
and everything. And it was one of those parent moments. And so the reporter asked Andrew, you know, what about Independence Day? And of course, being the scholar that he was when he was, 7 or 8 or
Right.
something, he just laid it all out there for her. She was thoroughly impressed.
Oh, really? Yeah. I figured he'd go, well, Will Smith needed to take on the aliens.
So now if you ask Abby what the 4th of July is, like for 2 years she had no clue.
No.
Not a clue.
No.
Not a clue. No tie-in anywhere in history. No dates, what happened. So I made her write a paper about it.
A paper to you? Like you
to
were
me.
the teacher? Okay. Yeah. Okay.
She's like, well, tell me what it is. And I was like, I want you to find out.
That's a good way to do
You
it.
should have learned this in school. Oh, they didn't teach us that.
Yeah, they absolutely did. She didn't pay attention.
They probably only taught her about the Unionist
Yeah, that's true.
Maynard, Horace Maynard up in Union County.
Oh, Horace Maynard.
Him and Parson Brownlow.
Yep.
Big buddies.
Yep. A lot's gone on since when last we talked.
Yeah, so we thought we would do a catch-up episode because we had things that interfered with our production of this podcast.
Yep.
Several things. So when last we enchanted everyone with our podcasting,
Oh, heavens.
the date was January 10th. So it's been 3 weeks.
Yep. Yep.
Has it been 3 weeks?
If my math serves me.
21 plus 1, 22 days, essentially.
Yep.
So somewhere around January 15th, we had snowfall.
Snow apocalypse.
Wouldn't call it that. We had the most snow we've had since the blizzard of 93.
Yes, and it was terrible. Every second was.
Was it?
Yeah, it was a disaster.
Why?
It's cold, man. You can't do anything in it. Besides, if you have big old honking tires like you got, you can go up in there and raise Cain. But for those of us civilians, we're stuck at home.
I think it's by choice.
I didn't choose to be stuck.
You know, we used to have at one of our former places of employment, we had an employee that if there was a flurry, they could not make it to work.
Yeah, I remember.
They're like, well, the weather's really bad up here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, I mean, I could come get you.
You know, that's the worst.
Hey, Jeff always,
Yeah.
Greg will come get you.
Yeah, he'd always volunteer somebody to go get them.
Yeah.
But, you know, when you get to the point when you're at home and you're like, I can't get out in this. This isn't worth me risking life and limb.
Well, I've said that before to my wife, but because I'm like, okay, so you have to go to work. So if you crash your vehicle, they're going to cover that, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you see.
They're
You know,
not.
No, they're not. Well, back in the day, coworkers would give me a hard time when I couldn't make it in. I'm like, listen, I have. Yes, I know. I just said listen. I have.
Oh, you did? I didn't notice.
Yeah, I'd have liability only and not collision because my vehicle was too old at the time. So, you know, if I got in a wreck,
You were just out of vehicle.
I was just out of vehicle. Well, who's that benefit? Well, then you'd make that decision and go through the process of calling in and saying, I can't make it. I know I'm risking getting made fun of. The response, we can send somebody to get you. That's a terrible idea.
We'll be out there in 10 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, so you're going to take me home. What type of day is this for me now that I'm going to be...
Or what type of day is it for the person who has to drive around?
Agreed.
Like everybody
Agreed.
else.
I'm concerned.
So productive.
Yeah, I'm concerned for the other person.
Well, I mean, in our business, there's not much you can do.
Yeah. Whenever I would make it in, everybody was just standing around. We were all almost slipping and falling with the wet tile inside. And people would be like, oh, well, we can get something done. No, you can't get anything done. Vendors are not at work.
You know what it was almost like?
What?
Inventory.
There's nothing worse.
When nobody actually did anything.
Yeah. You know, I'd be blamed for not doing anything. I was counting as much or more than anybody.
I think it's because you were sitting down.
I was in a wheelchair. Yeah, riding around. Yeah, it was efficient, and I did it also to make others angry with me. I enjoyed that.
I could see that.
Yeah, it's so fun when people get mad at you.
So with the snow event we had, so that involved about, I think that lasted about 10 days.
Total, yeah.
Because it was Monday until the next Tuesday, essentially, right?
Yep, I was out Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I came in Thursday. Then I was out Friday, and then I was at work the rest of the
Why were you out Friday?
I think that's when the extra freezing rain.
Oh, it was. It was even worse.
Yeah.
It was actually worse.
Yeah. Yeah, it was way worse. So yeah, no, I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah, because it was still we still had difficulties with our driveway Tuesday of the next week because the next day I was taking Andrew to the airport.
Yeah.
And I was in the van. And what I didn't realize or remember was that the van is rear wheel drive and it has no traction.
Yeah.
So I thought, I'm not even going to be able to get out of my driveway.
Yeah, no, that's no good. I was thinking the last time I had actual fun in the snow was a buddy of mine and myself. We took our four-wheelers out, and nobody was on the roads. And we drove from where I live in Fountain City to Luttrell, which is forever.
All the way up Tazewell Pike?
Yep, we put two on the back of our racks. We put 2 cans of gas each, and we were out riding all day.
Wasn't that illegal?
Yeah, in fact, we saw a police officer in the distance, and he didn't even give it a try because we had open field to our left and right. If he would have turned on the lights, we would have just turned off road and hit it.
Wow, that would have made it worse.
That would have made it a lot worse, but we're young. We were just crazy kids at the time. Even though we were probably 22, but
Do you still have a four-wheeler?
yeah.
Do you ride it?
No, I need to. I need to get it fixed up and get it out there.
Will it start?
I'm sure the battery's dead.
What about the fuel lines, carburetor?
I'm sure I got to do work on all that. It's a Yamaha. It's a nice four-wheeler. We used to take it up to Roll Blue weekly.
Yeah, I've never had one.
I love it.
I have flipped a three-wheeler.
Oh, yeah. We flipped down at my cousin's house in Alabama. Yeah.
Just flip it right over.
They'd have new they were never new three-wheelers. They would trade shotguns for them or something.
But weren't those more fun, though? Because they had, I remember the tires were just huge balloon tires.
The old Hondas were, amazing. But
dangerous as all get out.
Dangerous as anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's why they don't make them.
That's exactly right.
They don't make them anymore, do they?
No, they're illegal. They're illegal.
Can you not have them?
People do.
I know people that,
there's a whole...
I know of people that collect those old ones.
Yeah, there's a whole social media page devoted to, it's called Old School Hondas. And
so can you ride them?
People do, yeah.
I guess they just can't sell them.
Yeah, I think they can't be sold. And you know what? I may have no proof whatsoever that they're legal. I may just...
I think it would, even if it's not illegal, it's not a wise choice.
Yeah, no. Keep four wheels on the ground.
Put your kid on one.
Yeah, no, I remember, when we were really young, my dad had my sister on one, and I remember he just gave it too much gas, and about flipped everything on top of them both. But they're so unstable. Yeah, they'd always have new three-wheelers or go-karts. We just give it heck.
Well, those are great if you have a place to ride them.
Yeah, absolutely.
You put your kid out in one in your backyard, and
oh yeah, we just
it's not happening.
Oh yeah, no. Yeah. I remember my grandparents on Christmas. They're like, Jamie, what can we get you for Christmas? I said, I'd love a new go-kart. Lived in Fountain City. You can't ride go-karts anywhere. They're like, no, we can't get you that.
How about a drum set?
They see that my nephew is a very good drummer, so I hope he never hears this. But that's why I never had children, for the fear of them wanting a drum set one day.
Well, Zach always wanted one.
I got to ask, why did you just put your bifocal or your reader glasses on?
I don't know.
It's very distracting.
Is that better?
So, I took drum lessons and was pretty good. But, just like anything, a child runs out of interest pretty quickly. And
what was your end game?
To getting drum lessons?
Yeah. You going to be in a band?
No, I think it was just, I probably took up drum. I think drums was my first instrument in school band. And it was just a snare drum. And I think...
You want to buy a drum?
No. What type of question is that? Nobody wants to buy a drum.
I have two.
Like single drums?
Yeah, snare drums.
Yeah.
Like I have 2 Civil War drums.
Oh, so it's got the strap for your neck and
Yeah, one is a American Civil War era. The other one is a English Civil War drum.
does it fit over the costumes?
No, you don't use it with costumes. I mean, I guess you could if you had a stage production. So I hadn't thought about selling it to a stage production for costumes.
Hey, it's the new season of the Clarence Brown Theater, so
Do you think they need a Civil War
knows?
snare drum?
Who knows? I need to get their schedule and see what
I mean, they're fantastic reproductions
they're good for costumes.
and for uniforms.
Oh, that's fun.
I do want, some decent money for them, though.
I'd imagine. Did you ever get a mouthpiece for that bugle?
No, someone was going to give me one.
Yeah.
Actually, I have 2 bugles, so I have 1 mouthpiece. It works for both.
Well, there you go. You can make some interesting Dr. Seuss instrument and combine the 2 into one.
A kazoogle or a bazoogle.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Bazoogaloo.
Okay, so back on topic. I guess we had some bad weather.
Yeah, we did.
I had a cherished pet pass away at the very beginning of the ice, so I didn't get to bury her until Wednesday the following week.
Was it that long?
Yeah, it was Wednesday before the ground thawed enough for me to take her
Holy
up to the
cow.
woods. Yeah,
But it gave you time to prepare.
that was terrible. I had her out in the garage like she was a lawnmower.
Well, I mean, cats understand.
Do they? They seem to be the least understanding animal of all the pets.
Well, I mean, I think they're most understanding if they're,
Dead.
yeah.
Yeah. No, she was a good cat. She was very friendly. It was sad for about a couple days, but
Well, I mean, it's part of life, man.
yeah, 16 going on 17, old.
16 going on 17.
Don't get me singing that. Oh my gosh. For the record, Sound of Music is my favorite musical of all time, and
That's your favorite song?
The Lonely Goat Herder is my favorite song, but lady oh the lady who. So yeah, but
I am 16.
going on 17. Do. But then speaking of big to-dos, you've moved your son temporarily up to the Windy City.
Yeah, that was a pretty big deal.
Yeah, a huge deal.
So it was a big deal for me. I'm sure it's a bigger deal for him.
Yeah.
So he decided he got offered an internship for the semester with an engineering firm downtown Chicago.
What type of engineering is he into? Electrical, mechanical?
No, he's in civil engineering,
Oh, yeah.
which is kind of broad.
Well, you have to be a civil engineer because that's what I originally started my major in with the hopes of going into environmental engineering.
Yeah, that's his end game.
Yeah.
But the university doesn't have a specific environmental program.
No, you have to major in civil engineering, and then you can get your master's and all that in environmental.
So I think that's his goal. But the group does a lot of different things. Did we already talk about this?
Well, not we as in these two microphones. And
But I think they do geotechnical engineering there and traffic engineering, stuff that involves
it's a shame.
big cities.
It's a shame my father sold his patents because if he was going to be in environmental engineering, he could have just sold him a business because he invented rain gauges and flow meters for.
Yeah.
Yeah, but his patents, him and his partners sold their patent. Yeah.
Well, that's interesting.
Oh yeah.
I have absolutely no patents.
Well, it was because I remember I think I was in middle school, maybe in high school. I went with him to do a job, Basically, what he'd do is he'd take this big computer he invented and is in this big yellow crate out to some construction field, like it was an empty farm field where they'd have all the little PVC wells.
Yeah.
And he'd lower down a sensor into those wells on about 200-300 feet of cable that would send information back to his computer as far as water, what the content was, where it was coming from, where it was going. They'd come up with a plan, the best way to clean it. And I went out there to the Chesapeake Bay with him for 5 days. And the Commonwealth of Virginia, I was in middle school, paid me like $6,000 for just 5 days. All I did was just lower a sensor down a well and raise it back up for him. And it's crazy.
Well, I mean, somebody had to do it.
Yeah, somebody had to do it. So yeah, no. Anyways, back to it. He's back. He's in Chicago. As far as you know, doing well.
Yeah, I'm sure. I was there with him for about 5 days, and we kind of got familiar with the area, figured out the transit system, how all that works, how to get, here, what's the best stop,
Yeah.
We determined that the loop train is not effective for moving around the business district.
Okay.
It's just quicker to walk those 3 or 4 blocks. So, I mean, he's made it to work and back every day thus far.
Is he using that? Didn't you say there was an app to where it would tell him when the L train was arriving?
Yeah, there's a couple of apps, but Apple Maps is as good as anything because you can look at that and put your destination. You can pick the station you're looking at, and it'll give you live time when the train's going to hit the station. Because as we figured out, you don't want to be down there standing too long.
No.
Dude, first time we went down there, we were harassed by this guy, and he was off his rocker.
Yeah.
Is that the saying?
Yeah, I think that's what the kids use.
So it was almost as if, he was talking extremely out loud to himself in a rhyming pattern and just walking, very loudly talking. But I guess he probably could tell I was getting a little irritated because he kept coming around. And I was thinking, dude, I am going to knock you out. I will.
Yeah.
Do not intimidate me. And especially don't mess with me with my kid.
Yeah, that's something.
So Andrew was like, Dad, you let things get to you a little too much. And I was like, yeah, because I'm in defense mode.
Yeah. Yeah, wait till he has children that he's protective of.
But, what we figured out was if you time the train pretty well, you essentially walk down and get on it.
Do you think he hops the turnstiles like they do in the movies?
No. We follow the rules.
Well,
and we actually have prepaid cards, so there's no reason to.
I'd still want to hop one just to say I did.
Well, you'd probably go to jail for that. You would.
I'd probably trip up and bust my face open.
Yeah,
and
you probably would.
Get staph infection from somebody who's peed there previous. Yeah, L train, man.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's a whole
pretty
different
cool.
world. It's a whole different world.
We rode it from south of the river up to Wrigley.
Mm-hmm.
And if you go to Chicago, anywhere you go that's indoors, it's about 100 degrees. Because they know how to heat places. Now, my house here, it's cold.
Yeah.
Because it's a southern home. It's not.
Yeah.
But we got hot on the train, and it's moving and jostling around, and there's smells that you don't like.
Aromas.
And so when we got off, he and I both were as sick as all get out. And so I was like, man, I really thought we'd get up here and go get something to eat, but I'm not feeling it. But
Loss of appetite is what you're
did.
telling me? Well, how long is he staying up for? I can't remember.
Until May sometime.
Do you worry that he'll get attached to the area?
I think he'll be ready to come home, but he may want to go back.
Yeah.
So I think he wants to move away. He's talking about maybe Chicago or Denver.
That's moving away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. It's I said something that, we as parents, we prepare our children, their whole lives for that moment, but we don't really prepare ourselves.
Yeah, no, I have family, my sister and niece and nephew and brother-in-law live over in the Raleigh-Durham area. And I mean, that's just 6 hours. But that seems like a world away.
Well, I mean, it's far enough away that it's difficult to get there.
Yeah. Yeah.
I moved away 35 minutes.
Yeah.
But I mean, I did live away when I was, in college for a bit. But I mean, 35 minutes is just far enough away that people don't pop in and surprise you.
Right. Yeah. But close enough to where in a pinch you can get to where you need to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I had to get to Chicago, probably could be up there in 6 hours door to door.
Yeah.
I could catch a flight just right.
Yeah.
It's a pretty quick flight.
Yeah. It's just when I hear of people wanting to live in these areas, I think politically too much, I guess, and that's just a political chasm for me. I just don't think I could.
Yeah, I mean, I think some of the things and the thinking, the way they do things, is just backwards to me. Specifically with personal safety.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes no sense to me at all.
None. Because it's not working.
It's not, and I mean, I tell you what, we've been to Chicago several times, and the people in general that you meet, everybody's super friendly. I mean, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
Everybody's nice. People actually smile to you.
Yeah.
Exchange smiles, which I don't even know. That doesn't happen very much here.
No, but I bet they don't do the today or yesterday when we were out. I was out delivering. I counted how many.
The wave.
The finger. Yeah, your hands on top of the steering wheel, passing somebody in a country, just kind of lift your couple fingers there as the wave.
Some days I do that intentionally to everyone just to see who responds.
It's a complete social experiment.
But you're not doing that in Chicago because you're not driving.
Yeah, there's the rub. Yeah.
I mean, it'd be a different finger, I suppose.
Yeah. Well, but one thing I will say about the good people up there, having had relatives that live, well, they worked in Chicago but lived in Barrington, which is right outside Chicago. We used to go up there and play tennis in their community, and whenever a ball would go over on their court and on our court, nobody'd ever say thank you when you'd give them their ball. It just drove me crazy.
Would they get upset if you kept the ball?
I'm sure. Or if you picked it up, just hammered it over the fence into the go get it, sucker.
Zing.
Yeah. But that's a minor thing to point out, but
Well, that is exactly why I'll never live there. For that reason.
I hope I haven't discouraged anybody out there of living in Chicago due to the fact you'll never get thanked for getting somebody's tennis ball.
Well, I think it may be difficult for Andrew there simply because of outdoor activities.
There's the rub.
So he's like, there was an ad in the subway that said something about getting outside, visit your state parks or something. And it showed trees and mountains, and he was like, "Where is that?"
Not here.
I don't know. I'm sure that it's not far to a park, not a national park, a state park or a forest.
Probably a forest, but I don't know of any mountains in that region.
No, it's all scoured land.
Yeah, it's crazy when you just flew over it, but you can literally see like the squares.
Oh yeah,
in the ground as far as the property lines and
right, and the land, the geography was composed by the glaciers.
Yeah,
just scoured the earth down to the bedrock.
Yeah, that's why it gets so hot there.
So interesting though.
It is.
Good food.
Great food.
Had fun.
I used to love going when we'd go visit. It was a fun little city. We went to a couple of Wrigley for some games and.
Yeah, I need to check the schedule.
Oh, yeah, Cubs games. When we went the first time, excuse me, I about the seventh inning stretch time, I wanted to go get a souvenir. And I went, and it was a ridiculous inflatable Cubs baseball bat that was huge. It was like 5 feet long. And
You still have it?
no, it probably blew up before I got back to Knoxville. The thing is, on my very first trip there, I did that during the seventh inning stretch, so I missed Harry Carey singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game."
And never got to experience it again.
Yeah, for the sake of a stupid, cheap, inflatable baseball
That you
bat.
could have bought after the game.
I couldn't have ordered it online. It didn't exist then, but
You could have very well done without it.
I pretty much did for the entirety of my life. I think, like I say, I think I popped it.
See, I'm one of those parents that's like, no, you're not getting that because it's like that's a complete waste.
Yeah, well, of course, my dad stayed for the take me out to the ball game. This is how different the times were. Let his son, who was very young at the time, go to the concession stand in Chicago by himself. Counted on me finding my way back.
It's Wrigleyville.
It's Wrigleyville, yeah. Now I remember when we first came, they were playing the Padres, and when I first walked out of the tunnel, we were a little bit late for the want of a parking spot. When we came up out of the tunnel, first thing I saw was Tony Gwynn, which was a rarity because he never hit home runs. I mean, launched one over the right field wall. I was like, hey, I saw one. I don't think he got 100 home runs in his career.
Really?
I don't think. He was pure contact, and I got to see one. That was pretty cool. I also saw Andre Dawson in right field. I mean, throw a ball
The Hawk.
from deep right field to third base, never touched the ground. And I thought, yeah, I'm never going to be good enough to play it in the MLB.
That's me.
Yeah, no, I watched that going, my arm will never be that strong.
Well, I've been to a few Cubs games, and can't tell you who played.
Yeah, I remember as I was watching. Now it was Sean Dunston, but it was pronounced Shawan, or it was spelled Shawan. Sean Dunston at short, Ryan Sandberg at second. Oh yeah,
That was the golden era.
Oh yeah, love the Cubbies.
Well, was that back before they were playing night games?
No, night games just started when we went.
Because I remember watching the first night game.
Yeah.
I always thought it was cool because the Cubs were they were the only ones that every game was played in the day.
Yeah, the sad thing is the money they were missing out on putting on night games.
Yeah.
That's
Wrigley Field,
let's play
1914.
Yeah. I still love the Cubbies. The main reason I picked the Cubbies is all my friends picked the Braves. And
I was both Cubs and Braves fan because we could watch the games because of WGN and TBS.
Yeah, I was a Cubs fan and a Yankees fan. And the reason I was a Yankees fan, because in 1984, Don Mattingly's rookie card was worth $25. And I had 2 or 3 of them. And I thought, $25 to a kid my age? That was mega bucks. Of course, I never sold a one.
What's it worth now?
Probably
$23.
Probably $1.20. But no, I used to love Donnie baseball. But anyways, good times.
Yeah, good times. I'm hoping to get up and see a Cubs game.
Well, isn't the rest of your family planning a trip without you up there?
Yeah, but doesn't mean I can't go alone.
That's very true.
Yeah, like in the middle of the week or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, my aunt and uncle lived in Barrington, which was, as an affluent neighborhood as you'll find. They lived next to the president and CEO of Quaker Oats, and he'd have a limousine come pick him up every morning. Right down the road was Walter Payton's house. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
You just rub elbows with everybody.
I didn't rub elbows with one of them, except I think, I may be mistaken on this. I think Walter Payton's son came over to play wiffle ball with my cousin. I think my cousin knew them. But now we played a lot of wiffle.
You ever heard people that name drop?
Yeah, right here.
Yeah.
Are you just accusing me of it? Because
Yeah.
I have a huge problem with name droppers. If you just accuse me of name dropping, we're at 34 minutes and 59 seconds.
You're the best, like the best one I know.
I am not the best. You take that back, sir. I'm going to start keeping
Wait.
track.
I'm going to say it's not name dropping, it's name mentioning.
I don't know any of these people. I don't know the Quaker. I was just saying how affluent that neighborhood was. I didn't know any of these people.
You have an excellent memory, too, by the way.
I think I have a pretty good one. Like, I remember stupid stuff that I have no business remembering.
I mean, there's probably like hundreds of fantastic things. Well, I know there are that have occurred in my life. I couldn't sit here and recall half of them.
I can recall an absurd amount of things that's happened in my life.
I mean, I can if someone talks about something and it triggers the memory.
I remember details. I remember how angered I was at some things, and
Like when the Vols lost to South Carolina.
Yeah, that angered me for a few minutes, but not like it used to. When it used to, I let it affect my.
Well, you know, my dad would always say, well, it's better they lose now than in the tournament. I'm like, yeah, Dad, but they may not get to the tournament.
Yeah, no, I remember back when Tennessee lose at football, it ruined my whole weekend. Now I drop it like third period Spanish. It's all right.
You dropped third period Spanish?
Well, if I had it on third period, I'd drop it. I had it on seventh period.
Oh,
Yeah.
do tell.
Yeah, it's not a good story. But no, that was bad. I'm just saying not an entertaining story. And plus, I'd be afraid of name dropping and then be subject to your rebuke.
I mean, you'll be rebuked nonetheless, so.
Evidently.
But, you know.
Yeah, that's what's been happening since we last.
Yeah, and then we had to do like 3 weeks of work in 2 days.
Which we accomplished, I believe.
Because we missed like 2 weeks of work.
Yeah, I had to do like 3 weeks of unloading of things off Mack trucks because they all showed up at once. Well, let's get it out here.
Yeah, and fantastic update for our office. So a product we've tried to get since July. So what is that, 6 months now?
Yeah.
We had problems with it. Like we had to cancel one order because it just wasn't coming. So we finally got this mat thing ordered, like a patient mat. And it came today. So we're all excited. Well, I was, because I knew it was coming. And it's damaged.
I hated sending you that text message.
I replied to Jamie. I was in the middle of something, and I said, I wanted celery.
He meant to say I wanted to cry, right?
Yeah, I don't know why my phone autocorrected to celery.
I promise you, the whole reason why I'm not going to win the lottery is because I would use every penny to destroy the person who invented autocorrect. So I just don't think I'm going to be allowed to win.
Well, you know, you can turn it off on your phone.
What?
Yeah.
You can turn autocorrect off?
Yes.
I'm out of touch with this world. I want my old Razor flip phone. I used to love that thing.
I told you that one when we worked for the large company.
Yeah.
And I got an email early in the morning for somebody asking me to look at some document, and I was driving, so I used speak to text to reply to the email. And I said, okay, I'll check that. I need to check that. And it wasn't a good thing.
Did it come up as vulgarities?
Yeah, it could be taken wrong.
Okay.
So I sent that reply to somebody I didn't know. And it's not what I said.
Did they respond?
They didn't, but there were multiple recipients. So one of our coworkers said, did you read your email that you sent? And I was like, well, no, I was driving. She said, you might want to check what you sent.
Oh, gosh. What's happening? Oh.
I'm just stepping back.
Okay. Yeah, I have to occasionally clear my throat. But yeah, no.
So that's autocorrect for me.
I hate autocorrect. Two people I want to destroy if I ever won the lottery is the inventor of autocorrect and the inventor of the treble hook. Outstanding way to catch fish. Terrific way of impaling your own flesh with a 3-pronged hook. If you're trying to get it out of a fish's mouth.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah. No. So I have two enemies that I will destroy.
Do you ever cut one of them off?
Like if I get one in my skin?
No, like before you use it, you just cut one of the trebles off or you cut the barbs off?
Mm-mm. No.
You can do that.
Well, how does the fish stay on without the barb?
It'll stay on. It'll come off easier. You may lose it, but that's something that you would do like in fly fishing. It's just a little more humane.
Oh, and 2024 will be the year that I establish myself as a fly fisherman.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. I made that. I've got my tramp stamp. My trout stamp.
Well,
that's unfortunate. That's autocorrect in my head.
Well, I think we've had enough.
Yeah, I think that ends it.
Oh, Lord.
We're going to go get matching tramp stamps.
No, we're not.
Oh, I'll talk you into
I already
it.
have my trout stamp.
Well, I'll talk you into the tramp stamp. Don't you worry.
I don't want a tattoo.
I never have had one. I never will get one. You have one though, don't you?
Yeah, it's a regrettable, painful experience.
Is it? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know how some people just, seem to be addicted to it.
I don't know.
Are they addicted to the pain?
I think there's something to that, but to each his or her own as far as that goes. But I just grew up with a mother that harped on the epidermis system like it was God's great miracle.
Well, it is.
It's yeah. I'm not saying that in a mocking tone. It is. I mean, it regenerates. It's incredible, and so taking care of the epidermis was always a top priority of hers. That's why when I leave the beach, I'm whiter than when I got there. Yeah, I'll fish all day.
No leather skin for you.
Oh yeah, no, I won't be a catcher's mitt one day. I'll fish all day in the blazing sun and won't get a drop of sun on me because I don't use 15, I don't use 30, 100 SPF, caked on, baby.
So you just cover your body in that zinc oxide stuff?
Yeah, you should see our clan at the beach. It's the canopy. Everybody's sitting on chairs with beach hats that, they're practically touching each other's brims on them. Everybody's got, I think the least SPF is when somebody's laying out for sun is 50.
So do people confuse you with being a mime?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, are you the mime family?
I've never laid out for sun in my life. It's.
Well, I would say that's a good thing.
Well, you need vitamin D, but I take vitamin D. So
yeah, but you don't have to lay in the direct sunlight to get vitamin D.
No, you don't. I get it.
I don't think.
No, surely I get enough vitamin D when I'm fishing.
I'm not a vitamin D-ologist, so I can't tell you.
Boy, my mother is a vitamin. Anytime anybody's ever been sick, she's blamed it on a vitamin deficiency. It's sort of the running joke in the family.
Well, there's probably some truth to that.
No, it's not good to encourage her. She'll blame anything on it.
Well, I know she's a listener, so.
Absolutely. Yeah, they have listened. They have listened. They were creeped out by the feet fetish episode. Yeah.
Do they enjoy occasional mayonnaise?
They love mayonnaise. My dad'll eat it on his peanut butter and banana sandwiches.
We still haven't talked about mayonnaise.
We won't. Although I'm probably going to have to start coming around to it because I've learned recently how much mayonnaise is in everything.
Probably like 90% of your flavorful sauces.
It's unfortunate. It's like the world doesn't want me to be happy. I don't know.
I don't think the world does that to people.
Well, you see, what I've done here, though, is not have us end on the tramp stamp.
Yeah, you did because you just brought it up again.
Oh, criminy.
Just let it go.
Let it go.
Don't rehash it.
Yeah. Well, it's 44 minutes and 50 seconds. What?
That's remarkable.
Thank you.
Well, I think we've caught up.
Yeah, we'll get back on the regular schedule. But we just wanted to say howdy.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah.
So hopefully this all works out well,
What?
this podcast.
Like the sound?
Yeah. I think your mic sounds really well.
I do too. Nobody's
good.
called.
It's remarkable.
Yeah. So I say we.
Oh, I never knew we had a maximum recording time for a segment.
What is it?
60 minutes.
Really? Then we got to take a commercial break.
I don't know. We've never had to worry about it.
Brought to you by the Chicago Transit System.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't even talked about our sponsors this time.
Yeah, no. You'd think they'd get mad and pull their sponsorship.
Well, I believe they have, honestly.
I don't think they ever had a sponsorship.
This episode is brought to you by Doritos, Modelo, and Walmart.
And mayonnaise, just the condiment in general, no particular brand.
Yeah. The American Mayonnaise Association.
That's a club I want nothing to do with.
And the Associated Alliance of Tattoo Artists.
Yeah. Welcome, my fellow mayonnaiseites and tattooists.
Mayonnaise rejoice.
Today we're going to tattoo you with mayonnaise. Yeah. No.
Tattoo. Mayo tattoo. All right. Well, we hope to see you again next week.
Indeed, we will.
For a riveting episode of Green Light and Banter.
And we'll come up with an actual subject matter next week.
Will we?
Probably not.
I think it's time for a remote.
Gosh, probably.
Yeah, it'd be great.
It won't be great. It'll be nerve-wracking, and I'll probably throw up on the microphone.
Well, we have more microphones.
Yeah, just the audio of it will be terrible.
We'll put you like a little rain cap on your mic.
Outstanding.
On your little microphone afro.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Well, thanks for listening.
Yep.
We will see you soon.
Later.